Well, hey guys, welcome back and happy Friday. I hope you've had a great week. Today, I'm going to show you guys how I created this really full, vibrant fall harvest cornucopia. That was a mouthful. All right, guys, for this project, you're going to need one pipe cleaner, a cornucopia, of course. I got this one at Target for $3 in the bullseye section last year. 2 rolls of Dollar Tree ribbon, or any ribbon of your choosing, of course. Some wire cutters, glue gun and glue sticks, floral foam, and of course some florals of your choosing. The first thing we're going to do is get that floral foam inside the cornucopia, placing it inside the cornucopia as far as it'll go, and then I just make a little mark with my fingernail or something. And that's where I will make my cut. In this case, that happens to be almost half. I also like to leave the wrapping on this floral foam if it stays intact after I've cut it, because it really helps to keep it from getting really messy. I don't want that floral foam to be protruding outside of the cornucopia at all. I want it probably about maybe an inch or so below the rim of the cornucopia. And I'm going to use some of this floral foam that I have left over from some previous projects I've done. I can't remember if that was from Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby or even Michael's, but nonetheless, I'm going to use up these little pieces because they will work perfectly to help fill the voids in the cornucopia. And it's very important to fill those voids, you guys, and to make sure that all of your floral foam fits really snugly in the cornucopia. This will keep everything from moving around. And you can use some hot glue here if you'd like. I don't need to. I wait until a little bit later in the project to do that. I've already chosen the florals I want for this project. Next, I'm going to measure out how long I need my stems to be. I do that by laying them underneath or alongside the cornucopia and just kind of eyeballing where I want them to lay when they're outside of the or the parts of the florals that are outside of the cornucopia. I actually like my cornucopia to have a really long spray or spread outside of the opening or mouth of the cornucopia. I just like it to be really, really full and robust. So I'm going to have my stems or florals come out quite a ways. So I really won't need to cut too much off of any of my stems used in this project. And I'll basically just continue to kind of monitor and cut as I go throughout the project. I don't want to cut my stems too early on because I don't want some to end up being too short. Now I'll be adding in my longest stems first and placing the first one toward the back side of the cornucopia. This should end up being the longest piece or furthest out from the mouth. From here, I'll continue adding in each stem, gradually inching inward a bit more with each, so we end up with just a bit of an angle from the back side of our cornucopia to the front side. I know most have the horn facing up, but I actually prefer my cornucopia laying mostly on its side, and this is just a personal preference. I like using my longer, kind of wispier stems here since I want this area to be somewhat feathered out and sprawling, as this section really sets the foundation and tone for the rest of our florals. And we'll alternate this second layer using these pumpkin stems, filling in any gaps between that first layer of stems we put down. We'll build upon those longer stems by continuing to add in our fuller, denser, and more robust picks, maintaining continuity and balance by alternating colors and textures. We want this section to be nice and full and kind of rounded. And then we're going to want to taper it off into the rest of the spray. But I like to form this, the body is what I call it. I like to form the body section first, get it nice and full and rounded, and then I'll start adding in pieces to make sure that everything tapers off nicely. For the body, I really love using these hydrangea picks because they're so full and they already have a bit of that rounded shape we're going for, making for easy work here. These hop picks are another one of my favorites, you guys. They add another layer of fullness and dimension because their shape is so unique to the rest of the flowers. Now I'll start adding in what I consider to be the fillers. These are picks that I've chosen to add just a bit more variety and kind of stray from actual flowers to create even more interest. Here I'm adding in some Queen Anne's lace, and notice how I'm staggering the floral picks so they're in opposing positions from one another. This is one more component to achieving that balance and symmetry throughout your project. I'm also going to add these pomegranates throughout the body section. Now don't be afraid to try different color combinations, you guys. I typically prefer a somewhat monochromatic color scheme in my projects, but I still love to play changing things up once in a while. I really like using these cattails because of the shape and the size. They're kind of inconspicuous while still adding a little bit more dimension through color and texture and movement. Now I'm going to add in a few leaf picks. I'm going to place those on the underside of the cornucopia along with those longer stems to add a little more fullness in that area, giving a tapered three-dimensional look and adding to that kind of spray effect. And then I'm going to glue everything together, you guys, making sure that I get the hot glue all the way inside the cornucopia, ensuring that it comes into contact with all of those pieces of floral foam as well as my stems, holding everything in place really well and keeping everything secure. And now we're going to go ahead and add in our squash and pumpkins. I did play around with these a little bit, adding something in, taking it out, just to see what was most aesthetically pleasing to my eye. This is something you'll have to play around with, guys. This is very personal as to what you might like to look at or what's going to go with your home, what is aesthetically pleasing to you. It's just very personal. And these are the ones I ended up choosing, and then I actually added a few more after the fact. After I finished filming, I added another squash onto that, and I also added a few of those sparkly Dollar Tree maple leaf clips on, which I think really added something to this cornucopia. Though I did decide to swap out that little burlap pumpkin from Dollar Tree for this little pumpkin I found at Walmart for 97 cents. I just thought it went a little bit better. And again, you just have to look it over. Sometimes I'll set a project aside, I think it's finished, and then I'll come back the next day and I'll look at it from a different perspective, and I will sometimes remove things or I'll add to them. Again, it's just a personal preference, and again, it's your aesthetic and what's going to go with your home and your decor. And then we're going to go ahead and make our bow. First thing you want to do is stack the ribbons one upon the other, and then you're going to begin to fold them. Your bow will be as wide as your fold, and each fold is going to be 2 loops on your bow. So keep that in mind when you're trying to determine the size that you need or want. And I just kept folding this ribbon until I basically reached the end of each roll. I wanted to make this bow fairly large because although this cornucopia is quite small, the floral part of it I created is really large, and I really need to kind of meld all of that together. But as I often say, guys, go big or go home, right? Then you're going to take your fold and you're going to fold that in half, and you're going to find your center. Once you've located that, make a diagonal cut toward the center of the ribbon, but don't go too far. Then flip your folded ribbon around and do the same thing on the other side, cutting at an angle and keeping the cut parallel to the cut you made on the other side. Then add your pipe cleaner into each cut or slit and twist as tightly as you can. Now you're going to pull those loops out, alternating sides, and that's going to create the bow. You're going to add your bow on by attaching those pipe cleaner tails around a few of the floral stems. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get a better angle of that for you guys to be able to view what I was doing. And again, you're going to want to add your bow in a way that's going to marry everything together. So we'll be putting our bow half on the cornucopia and half over the opening where the florals are coming out. This will bring everything together, giving our project a nice finished and professional look. Then we're going to add a little bit of hot glue to the very base of that bow. That's going to make sure everything stays nice and secure while still allowing a little bit of movement, so it's not really stiff. We want a little bit of movement and flow. Then I'll just cut those tails down a little bit by lining them up together, folding them in half horizontally, and then I'm going to determine the length I want them to be, and then cut from the outside edge inward toward the fold at an angle again to create that V cut. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I'm always grateful for you carving a little time out of your busy day to spend some time with me. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to my channel and ring that bell if you'd like notifications every time I upload a new video. Thanks again for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day, my friends.
You got me spinning out of context. Not really sure what I should do.